Hey everyone, Nucleus here. Today is February 4th, 2025, and here are the news stories from last week in case you missed it. Our first few stories come from Indeed.com. On January 28th, artificial intelligence firm OpenAI unveils a version of ChatGPT specifically for government agencies. The new platform called ChatGPT Gov allows users to upload non-public sensitive information to the platform using open AI models while maintaining security and privacy measures. This dedicated AI platform for government agencies will retain all the same functions as ChatGPT Enterprise, but will allow agencies to utilize their own cloud servers. X, formerly known as Twitter, gets one step closer toward becoming Elon Musk's Everything app, as it has partnered with Visa to take on the likes of Zelle and Venmo. On January 28th, X CEO Linda Yaccarino announced the peer to peer payment system X Money. This new service will allow users to store and transfer funds. The service is expected to go live in the first quarter of this year. Meta reports that infusing artificial intelligence into its social media platforms has increased engagement and ad sales, reporting a 21% increase in quarterly income. CEO Mark Zuckerberg is also looking to increase spending on the technology to as much as 65 billion this year. Zuckerberg also expects Meta's AI personal assistant, Meta AI, to reach a billion users in 2025. From YouTube channel China Uncensored, information regarding the Chinese AI app and company DeepSeek is starting to come to light. Last week, the announcement that the Chinese AI had surpassed OpenAI's ChatGPT 4 took the world by surprise, and stocks for Western tech companies took a hit. The claims that DeepSeek was able to make such leaps in performance with their version 3 AI with only 2,048 H100 GPUs and with funding of only $5.76 million are seriously in doubt. China Uncensored host Chris Chappell pointed out that comments made by Scale CEO Alexander Wang that DeepSeek is probably in possession of more NVIDIA chips than they're admitting to.
Chinese labs, they have more H100s than people think.
And these are the highest powered NVIDIA chips that they were not supposed to have.
Yes, my understanding is that DeepSeek has about 50,000 H100s, which they can't talk about obviously because it is against the export controls that the United States has put in place.
Despite the tech restrictions placed on China by the Biden administration, investigations have found that China had been evading U.S. sanctions by acquiring high-end chips through the use of shell companies. Chipmaker TSMC previously announced they identified irregularities in customer data, but have since blacklisted suspicious companies. Other irregularities in DeepSeek's claims are just as dubious, as their white paper clearly has holes in it. They don't address any previous funding, research, experiments, algorithms, or data. Focusing on funding, it's most likely that DeepSeek is receiving funding from the Chinese Communist Party. From the same China Uncensored video, quote, DeepSeek's founder, Lian Wanfeng, was invited to a closed-door symposium earlier this week by Chinese Premier Li Qiang. Earlier this week, to provide a government work report alongside entrepreneurs and people specializing in robotics, end quote. Continuing with the DeepSeek AI, in an article by Kevin Poirault for InfoSecurity magazine, an infrastructure vulnerability has revealed sensitive data from DeepSeek. Cloud security firm Wiz analyzed DeepSeek's external security posture to search for potential vulnerabilities and uncovered an insecure database containing chat logs and backend data. They also uncovered sensitive information like log streams, API keys, and operational data. Wiz has since revealed the vulnerability to DeepSeek, in which they immediately took action to secure the vulnerability. Also from InfoSecurity magazine, Alessandro Marcelino writes that the RAS, or Ransomware as a Service Group, Lynx, has been revealed to have a structured affiliate program organized into sections. Affiliates get 80% of ransom proceeds. Lynx even has other services such as a call center to harass victims and advanced storage solutions for high performing affiliates. The group also has an active professional recruitment program actively searching for recruits from penetration testing teams. From Ian Thompson at the Register, Google has been monitoring activity from Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea in their use of their Gemini AI program for nefarious purposes like phishing, malware generation, among others. Russians utilize Gemini the least, with only 3 Russian groups identified so far. Chinese spies have been using Gemini primarily for content creation, as well as research on U.S. government institutions. North Korea has been using Gemini's large language model for crafting job applications in the IT field, part of its ongoing effort to insert the DPRK agents into Western companies. Others have been searching freelancer forums on Discord and searching for information on the South Korean military and nuclear technology. Out of the 4 countries, Iranian cyber groups have accounted for 75% of the app's usage. They've been leveraging Gemini for a wide range of purposes such as reconnaissance, researching vulnerabilities, creating local personas and content, and identifying free hosting providers, while Iran's APT-42 unit has been leveraging Gemini for crafting phishing content. Moving on to gaming, we have new game trailers from the YouTube channel Game Trailers. Let's start with this section off with the early access titles. Achilles Survivor is a single-player bullet hell shooter in the same vein as Vampire Survivor from Darkpoint Games. In Achilles Survivor, you can choose from a roster of mythological Greek heroes like Hector, Pythia, the Cyclops Brontes, or the aforementioned Achilles. As you battle waves of enemies, you'll upgrade your character's abilities to make them to gods of war on the battlefield. Achilles Survivor went to early access on January 29th. In SCP Fragmented Minds, players will head to the SCP Foundation's Mars Site 113. Once one of the most secure facilities in the Foundation, the anomalies have been let loose inside the facility. Developed by HST Studios, SCP Fragmented Minds went into Steam Early Access on January 29th. From indie developers Ira and Little Giants comes Libritopia, the librarian simulator. In Libritopia, you'll manage a public library. You'll take your humble library and manage its operations from layout, decor, and organization to employing staff to help you keep your visitors happy as you grow. There's even a multiplayer mode where your friends can help manage your library. Libritopia went into Steam Early Access on January 30th. Space Engineers 2 is the follow-up to Keen Software House's Space Engineers. Players find themselves in the Augmagus system. Build anything from space stations to starships. Some of Space Engineers 2's features include the blueprint system, where you can build something and save it as a blueprint to build later again later. The grid system of the original has been overhauled to allow for more precision. Also, Space Engineers 2 includes a new dynamic lighting system and now includes ray tracing. The game is built using V-Rage 3, Keen's in-house game engine. Space Engineers 2 went into Steam Early Access on January 27th. Legacy Steel and Sorcery is a PvP and PvE dungeon crawler from developer Notorious Studios. Set in the fantasy world of Mithridates, players can team up with up to 2 friends or go solo. Keep What You Kill is the name of the game. Take loot from fallen enemies, rest and craft items in the city, build and modify your lodging. Legacy Steel and Sorcery is set to release on Steam Early Access February 12th. Numismatics Astronomics is about mining randomly generated asteroids. build robots to harvest resources, purchase and upgrade equipment to automate and increase the efficiency of your mining operations, fight off pirates to defend your resources and equipment. All of this is to save up for a ticket to Earth. Astronomics will be available for Steam Early Access February 10th. In Heart of the Machine, you take on the role of a sentient AI. In Arson Games' cyberpunk strategy RPG, you can raise robotic armies, manage your city to be a cyberpunk dystopia, or work to elevate the lives of the population. You can even manipulate time and space by sending allies back in time to fuel your growth or correct the mistakes of the past. Heart of the Machine is now available on Steam Early Access. In Isla, a Frosty Glide, players take on the role of the titular witch in training, Isla, as she explores an open world searching for her lost cat Coco. With her trusty escape broom, Isla can explore the world searching for secrets and collectibles that will improve her magic and flying abilities. The game's demo is available right now on Steam, and a link to the Kickstarter campaign is in the description. Storebound is a survival horror game from developer Embers and is set in a furniture store after hours. While you're trapped in the store yourself, you're stuck inside with a terrifying creature. Now you must scavenge for supplies while avoiding the beast. Storebound can be played with 1 to 4 players and will be available on Steam. No release date has been announced. Developer Bossa Studios' Lost Skies is an open-world survival game with a focus on exploration, crafting, and building. A powerful entity called the Seraph has brought devastation to the world, and you or a group of friends must scavenge the world seeking lost technology to take the fight to the Seraph. Lost Skies will be available on Steam, but no release date has been announced. The Directorate Novitiate is a third-person action RPG from Nesting Games. You take on the role of Mercury, a magical agent that specializes in supernatural threats in Los Angeles. Mercury's life is complicated with the tracking down of a serial killer, as a war within the criminal underworld seems to be brewing. The Directorate will release on Steam. Do No Harm is a doctor simulator from Darts Games with a Lovecraftian twist. You must treat your patients as effectively as possible using your book of medicine. Choose who to kill, who to save, and who to trust. Nightmarish entities will try to interfere with your treatments. However, you only have 30 days and multiple endings are possible. The Do No Harm demo is available by invite and will be released March 6th on Steam. Reality Break is a shooter with RPG mechanics. A sinister enemy is attempting to change the very fabric of existence. You must use your powers to alter reality in this roguelike. From Element Games, Reality Break will release on February 10th for PC and on GOG.com. Shadows of Moorhaven is a medieval fantasy RPG from Quest Dev Interactive. Shadows of Moorhaven is a dungeon crawler with a twin-stick shooter mechanics. You play as a deputy of the king who must root out goblins who constantly raid a small village, but you'll soon discover that there is more at play. Shadows of Moorhaven will be released on Steam, but no release date has been announced. Demeo Cross Dungeons and Dragons Battlemarked is a collaboration between Wizards of the Coast and Resolution Games. It will feature cross-platform support where you and 3 other friends can team up in one of 2 campaigns that will be available at launch. Demeo Cross Dungeons and Dragons will launch for the PC and consoles, but no release date has been announced. Troglodytes Games Rail Gods of Hysteria is a base-building survival game with a Lovecraftian twist. You command a living train where you will build your base, craft weapons, and gain powers for you to take on the Great Old Ones. Play alone, or you can form up a party of up to 5 other players. A party of up to 5 players. Rail Gods of Hysteria will be available on Steam sometime this year. Town to City is a city builder from developer Galaxy Grove. Set in a 19th century Mediterranean town, your job is to turn it into a thriving city for your growing population. Town to City will release on Steam sometime this year. Gacha Legends of the Demon Blade is a Japanese-inspired roguelike set in the Edo period from Taiwanese developer 7 Quark. There was once a balance between humans and demons. However, a nine-tailed fox has rallied demons to their side in order to wreak havoc on the human world. Gacha Legends of the Demon Blade will release on Steam, Xbox Series S and X, PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch April 24th. Karma: The Dark World is a psychological thriller set in a dystopian alternate 1984 East Germany. The Leviathan Corporation rules over the populace through mass surveillance, social classes, and mind-altering drugs. You will play as Daniel McGovern, an agent for Leviathan. You'll dive into the minds of others, examine crime scenes, and report back to Leviathan. From Pollard Studio LLC, Karma: The Dark World is set to be released on PC through Steam, Epic Game Store, and GOG, PS5, and Xbox Series S and X. No release date has of yet been announced. From legendary developer Team Ninja, Rise of the Ronin is getting a PC release via Steam on March 10th. Rise of the Ronin is an open-world action RPG. With the PC release, Rise of the Ronin is getting support for 4K resolutions and for ultra-wide monitors, ray tracing, and support for AMD's FSR, NVIDIA's DLSS, and Intel's XeSS, among other features. Sniper at Work is a tactical third-person shooter from Cherry Pick Games. In the game, you pick and modify your weapon, scout the mission area, plan your approach, and eliminate your target. Not enough, you'll also have to plan your escape when things go sideways. Missions are dynamic, and you have the freedom to dispatch targets in creative ways. Sniper at Work will be released on Steam, but a release date has not yet been announced. Heroes of Newerth was a MOBA developed by S2, then moved over to Frostburn Studios. The service was discontinued in 2022, but now Kongor Games is remaking Heroes of Newerth under the title Heroes of Newerth Reborn. The game is being developed under a new game engine with new visuals and an overhaul to the gameplay. Heroes of Newerth Reborn will be free to play and released under the iGames platform. No launch date for Heroes of Newerth Reborn has been announced. Repose is a first-person dungeon crawler from solo developer Bozo Attila Berthold. Your job is to collect oxygen tanks in the facility. Why? That's for you to find out. Done entirely in black and white pixel graphics, the game has been designed with a focus on tension. You have a limited amount of energy, and every action you take chips away at that energy. Repose is set for release on Steam sometime this year. Confinement is a first-person escape room from developer Mr. Dev Studio. Escape as fast as you can, as each room is loaded with traps, obstacles, and requires quick reflexes and precision to escape. Confinement is set for release sometime this year on Steam. Folly of the Wizards is a 2D roguelike from Upfox Labs. Players join a wacky cult of wizards and use magic spells to take down enemies in procedurally generated dungeons. Folly of the Wizards is coming to Steam, PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and Switch. No formal release date has yet been announced. Caldera Interactive's The Rabbit Hall is a part farming sim and part tower defense game. You must explore and upgrade your farm and abilities while protecting your garden from the trash pandas. The Rabbit Hall will be available on Steam and Switch sometime in 2026. Beta Dwarf released their announced trailer for Vaultbreakers. Vaultbreakers is a PvP/VE action RPG set in a fantasy world. Choose your champion, unlock abilities, craft items, awaken artifacts, and tailor your playstyle. Vaultbreakers is coming to Steam. A playtest is available right now. Head over to the game's Steam page for access. No formal release date has yet been announced. From Tripwire Interactive comes their latest entry in their monster slaying multiplayer shooter. Team up with up to 5 other players while taking on the bioengineered hordes of the Horzine Megacorp. Killing Floor 3's closed beta begins February 20th through the 24th. Killing Floor 3 will be available on Steam, Epic Game Store, Xbox Series S and X, and PS5 March 25th. From indie developer Poti Poti Games comes Is This Seat Taken? Is This Seat Taken is a puzzle game where you have to find the optimal seating for people with unique quirks, whether it be a bus, a movie theater, or a wedding reception. Is This Seat Taken is a casual, low-stakes, low-pressure puzzle game with no timers and no leaderboards. Is This Seat Taken is coming to iOS, Android, and Steam. No release date has yet been announced. The newest entry in Take-Two Interactive's WWE 2K series, 2K25, will be available March 14th on PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and Steam, and is now available for pre-order. Horses 2025 is a horse care and management game from developer MD Adnan Hossein. Feed, groom, and engage in riding lessons. Train your horse to compete against the clock in equestrian events. Horses 2025 will launch in July for PS4 and PS5. From Big Ant Studio, Rugby 25 will be coming to Steam, Xbox Series S and X, and PS5 on February 13th. Released for the PS4 and PS5 and Switch in Japan last year, Neptunia Riders vs. Doggos received its worldwide release on January 28th. Finally, a quick announcement from Nintendo. Ridge Racer 64 is coming to Switch. Originally released in the year 2000 for the Nintendo 64, Ridge Racer 64 is only available as part of Nintendo Switch's Online's new Plus expansion pack. The Plus expansion pack includes access to Nintendo 64, Game Boy Advance, and even access to a collection of Sega Genesis games, among other benefits. Getting the new Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack takes your membership from $19.99 per year to $49.99 per year. Well, that's it for last week's news recap. All links to stories and videos are in the description below. There were a lot of stories related to Chinese AI DeepSeek, like privacy and data collection issues, or Chinese sentiment about DeepSeek's purported capabilities, but I didn't want this news recap to be dedicated to just that. So, thank you for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, and follow me on social media, and I'll see you in the next video.